After leaving Gatlinburg, we headed back home to regroup, tie up a few loose ends before packing up and heading back out for a summer outing to another one of our favorite locations, the Outer Banks.
Right here in the Outer Banks, Reese wants to get a picture by the Outer Banks welcome sign.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
This trip was especially special as my daughter was with us, and that just makes everything better.
You ready? Look here.
This was her first time to the Outer Banks, and I was really excited to introduce her to it.
Stay right there.
Like many her age nowadays, her interest for the area, of course, was mostly piqued by the hit Netflix show, Outer Banks.
We've read other places that this sign in Manteo is that sign. Maybe they put a different face on it. But we're gonna walk over here and let Reese take a quick photo by what we think is the sign from the show.
Last year, I had taken her all over Charleston, South Carolina, where the show was actually filmed, to find a lot of the filming locations there. If you haven't seen that episode and are a fan of the show, be sure to check it out. For this trip though, I wanted her to experience the real Outer Banks. So we ventured out as a family to begin our trip together on the beaches of Currituck Outer Banks. After a few photos by the Outer Banks welcome sign, we drove up Highway 12 into Corolla towards one of the Currituck Outer Banks public beach access areas. The Currituck Outer Banks makes up the first 20 miles of the 50-mile-long peninsula that also includes Nag's Head, Kitty Hawk, and Duck. There are two areas in Currituck, the southernmost areas, which is mostly known as Corolla, and the northern point, which is only accessible by four-wheel drive. That area is where people go to see the wild horses of Corolla. We wouldn't be partaking in that adventure today though, and if we did, I promise it will be much different than a four-wheel drive adventure tour with a hefty price tag. And yes, as the locals will remind you, it's Corolla, not Corolla. Today, we just wanted to dip our toes into the white, sandy beaches of the Outer Banks and take in some warm Carolina sunshine together to kickstart our trip.
You ready, Reese? It's an Outer Banks beach.
As we walk together along the wooden walkway that leads you to the ocean, eventually, the sound of crashing waves could clearly be heard in a peaceful setting now lied before us as we arrived at the edge of the Atlantic, beneath stratus clouds and the blue skies that intercut them. Never fails every time I visit a beach. As the waves crash in and with the wind steadily churning, my mind begins pondering the realization that this point is where our mainland ends and the mighty waters of the ocean demand full control, working within a rhythmic, ingenious formula guided by the gravitational pull of the sun and moon as designed by the Creator. Way out there in the distance, another world exists, a place where high-ranking sea life reigns supreme, and millions of intricately created marine creatures, organisms, and plant life carry out their own unique purpose for existence beneath the vast deep blue. An underwater world of mystery that is still constantly being discovered unto this very day, right here on planet Earth. Those waters are where adventurous voyages took place in search for new lands and discoveries, where pirates raided, plundered, and sank many a vessel in the deep of the ocean. And way out there, across the sea's horizon, other lands full of life and meaning have dwelled for thousands and thousands of years. The Outer Banks has earned its nickname as the graveyard of the Atlantic, due to the more than 5,000 ships that have sunk since record-keeping began back in 1526. A dangerous area, mostly due to the coastline's shifting sands and inlets. And although it's easy for me to get swept away by the history of this place, I immediately knew today was going to be firmly placed within another capsule of my mind for many, many years to come. I've been taking my daughter to beaches since she was just a little thing, swimmies and all. She's always loved the ocean and being near it. Now, in her college years, her love of the ocean is more vibrant than ever. Also, her love for eating crab legs at a seaside seafood restaurant has grown substantially since her younger years, not requiring assistance from Dad anymore to crack open the claws and legs required to reach a delicious crab meat reward. I'm almost certain this trip will need to include some local seafood cuisine, some sea shanties, and a few happy plates. Today was the perfect opportunity to relive and renew one of my favorite photos of us together after all these years. I love a great memory. It's what life is all about. And then, of course, making more of them. Sarah loves the ocean and beaches too, and finds it a good place to recharge and plot the course ahead. With sand between her toes, and with the help of a gentle ocean breeze running through her hair, it really is a great assistant for reflection and reshaping and adjusting the journey forward. For me, anytime I'm with people I love and at a place that can be explored, bottled up, and remembered forever, I'm always a happy man. The ocean is just good for the soul, no doubt about it. And summertime was really beginning to reveal itself with each crashing wave and its incoming flow of seawater meeting our footprints. Very blessed and happy to be here on the Currituck Outer Banks with my two favorite people. This beach outing would be just only the beginning of some great new quests and adventures we would all experience together. And I'm looking forward to bringing you out there along with us. I can't wait to show you what happens next.
Hang on to the shirt.
See, I don't think it's going to ruin the leather, is it?
The leather shrinks once it gets wet. It like seizes up.